All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the London Monarchs and the Indianapolis Colts. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Ready? Blue lady. Right there, 54 Mike. Cut.
They'll run with a former Ole Miss Rebel, Jordan Wilkins. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Shift. Check 52.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Watch the run. Hey, stop. Watch the edge. Hey, 5 on the 50.
From the gun, Winston. And he's got his man, Hilton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
And the Colts, first down. First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Ready? White 25. Hey, come on. White. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
On play action, Winston. He's going to look deep down, and that's caught inside the 30. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 36 yards on the play.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. On first down, it's Hines. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Drop deep. He's crashing. He's chasing.
Now a give, right side. It's Wilkins. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, let's get a conversion.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Aguilar has it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. 2nd down now.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
It's 3rd and goal.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Let's go. First down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Zebra.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the penalty erases their earlier loss. Now it's 2nd and 8. They run the counter. It's Carson. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing is Wilson. He's able to find Wallace. They give him a gain of 38.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player, but he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They run it with Carson. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
25.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
Line 54 on the army. Watch twist.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run on first down. Hines. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Not today. Wide, get wide. Let's go.
On second down, it's Hines. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Colts on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Winston. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wilson. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Carson. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go, D.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yeah. Let's make these babies cry all the way back. 30. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
To throw is Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
Well, there's your first ROI, right? Return on investment of their first-round pick. His first NFL sack. I know they want him to be an impact player right out of the gate.
A lot of pressure to put on a young man, but I think you agree he has the ability to deliver on it.
And he just did. Probably the first of many sacks in a long career.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line.
At their own 33-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. This is complete to Michael Thomas. A gain there of 21 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work, and finally,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Muhammad Wilkerson busting through to get him for a loss of 6. After the sack on first down, Wilson, that's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Wilson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Following the interception, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. They run the counter. Hines. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Ready? Blue lady. Mike 54. Let's go, baby. They turn over. Get that ball. Let's go.
On third down. It's Hines. Oh, nice move. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the defense. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of it.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football.
Come on now. Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. From the 30 on second down, Wilson, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Well, throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's going to let this one go deep. And got his man complete. 30, 10, touchdown Indianapolis. A big play there. 91 yards. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. So from back deep in their own territory all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked.
Let's go, let's go.
They'll take over first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now it's Wilson. Thomas has got it, complete.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check. Fresno. 49, check 49.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hey, check mark 33. Check mark 33. Zebra.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Watch the slant.
Now it's Hines. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. And the catch made by Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Second and 1 at the 39-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Throwing, Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards there, a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Hines, and he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Right. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On the carry, it's Wilkins. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
I thought they did a really nice job stringing it out and not allowing him to turn upfield, knocked him out for no gain. I think if you're going to go outside in this situation, keep it in the hands of your quarterback. Give him some options. Run it, pass it, pitch it. Just something to have a chance to get into the end zone.
On second and goal, Winston to the goal line, but it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. But now it's third and goal. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. And remember, they had 2 last week in the win. Obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team. And he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will finish off this third quarter of play. Back now in Indianapolis, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And you're still in this game. Yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now it's Wilson. And he's going to go down again. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Darius Leonard, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
The offense on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. He can run for it, and he will. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 43.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Wallace. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick, and it's 3rd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Pierre Desir able to get a hand in and make that play.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He's got his man. That's Wallace. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To throw again is Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Second down and goal. Wilson. And it's caught. Touchdown. Dez Bryant. His first touchdown on the year. As his guys are back within a single score. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Myers connects on the PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Returnable for Lockett. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
First down.
Green 80. Fuck that.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Here's Wilson. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on fourth down. So down 6, and they know they need this one on fourth down. They're going on fourth down. It's Wilson. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth.
Alert.
He'll look to throw. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Let's go.
They'll come out in the pistol. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Check 4.
They run again with Carson. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Chris Carson with time running out, as they are now an extra point away from perhaps stealing one here in the final minute. So they're not home yet. Still a critical extra point here to break the tie. And they have got the lead.
Makes the score Monarchs 14, Colts 13. Michael Dixon set to kick off.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Winston. Now a desperation throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. So there's one big play followed by the timeout as we're under 10 seconds to go. And now how do you play it offensively? We'll find out. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And now they're going to get the timeout. So a huge play has him in field goal range with a chance to possibly send this one to OT. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And his kick is through. It is good. Dan Bailey, the hero as time expires. And the Hoosier State will celebrate tonight as the Colts have won it. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did. So for the Colts, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.